Hey Greenmont, this is Pastor Seth coming to you. So excited to be starting week number 2 of the story. Yesterday we got off to a great start talking about creation. I don't know if many of you can identify with this, but I love to go to the movies. And there's nothing worse than showing up at the movies late. A few weeks ago, Melissa and I got babysitters lined up and ended up walking into the movie with Tom Hanks about Mr. Rogers just a few minutes after it started. And let me tell you, with that movie, if you come in late, you're going to be lost. And that's exactly how we felt. And that's exactly how it is with this week's reading from creation in Genesis 1 and 2. If you miss those introductory verses and chapters in Genesis, you miss so much. And yesterday we found out that in the beginning there is God. God created the heavens and the earth. And that is such a loaded statement that from the very beginning, God exists. And not just that, yesterday we found out that the very greatest part of God's creative process was creating you and I. That God said it was very good. And not only that, but God came and walked with Adam and Eve in the cool of the day. And I want to just remind you today that God, when He looks at you, He says, you are very good. God loves you. God has a great plan and a purpose for you. And God's intention since the very beginning in creating this earth was that He would have relationship with you and I. Perfect relationship. And yesterday we saw that even when Adam and Eve messed up that relationship with their choice to sin and all of the things that happened relationally and as it related to them, as it related to the earth, God began even then a process to restore humanity to Himself through His Son. And we saw yesterday at least 3 different shadows of Jesus in the story of creation. How we saw Jesus as being that skin that was applied to the covering of Adam and Eve's nakedness. And we saw the fact that the ark itself is a picture of Jesus and entering into Him and into safety from judgment under Jesus' righteousness in His life. So I just want to encourage you this week to remember that God and His story is all about being in relationship with you and with me. And maybe this week, for you, you just need to go out and take a walk in the cool of the day. You need to just spend some time with the Lord. You need to remind yourself about God's love for you, about the fact that He sent His Son even before the foundations of the earth, that Jesus was the Lamb that was slain for you and for me. That's such good news. That's so exciting. That is the gospel right in the very opening pages of the Bible. This week, David and I are going to be trekking off to Indonesia, spending some time with Peter and Katie and their family. We're going to miss you guys, but I'm so excited that Brother Paul Robbins is going to be sharing this week as we talk about the beginning of a nation, as God calls Abram and Sarai and begins to unfold His plan to bring about one who would restore that relationship between us and God. So you're in for a treat this week. Remember to be reading through the Word together, giving God opportunity as you reflect in a journal or in your life groups around the table together. And we're just going to continue to trust God to speak to us and to change us through His Word. God bless you guys. We're going to miss you, and we will see you next week on the 16th when we get back. Take care.